Successful traders are not happy because they succeed. They succeed because they are happy. And just like Winston Churchill says, attitude is a little thing that makes a huge difference. And I'm a firm believer that a positive attitude helps with positive results. Because here's the thing, your influence over your results are zero, but your influence over the process is 100%. And how you focus on the process and how you focus on your performance, no matter if you're in a winning streak or a losing streak, will separate you from the rest. And today I want to talk about those characteristics of winning traders. What separates them from a consistent loser? We're going to talk about the daily habits and routines, and we're going to talk about their beliefs about the market. And this brings me to a question that I want to ask you. Do you believe the market is against you or rigged? Because if you do, these beliefs are having a negative impact on your performance. The thing about winning traders is they realize that the market is completely neutral. It does not care if I'm in a winning streak. It does not care what my religion is. It does not care if I'm a consistent loser. The market does what it needs to do, and we are completely irrelevant. It's not that winning traders even formulate better trading strategies, or that they are smarter than you, or that they do better analysis. The one thing that separates you from a consistent profitable trader is their self-confidence in their own ability and the trading strategy that they have developed. And they've developed this confidence over consistently executing the same plan over and over and over again. And another thing that separates winning traders from you is their capability of making sure that they're constantly convincing themselves that they are not smarter than the system that they have developed. It's the capability of being able to do the same boring, consistent process longer than anyone else. And I think when you look at successful people when it comes to business, it's usually the exact same thing. You find a consistent system that provides consistent results, and you milk it longer than everyone else, no matter how boring it is. You don't add any little bits in here and there or tweak with the system. You don't fix something that already works. When you look at winners, they do the basic things right. They regularly review and evaluate performance. They are flexible in their approach. They're able to change biases as they need. Do not hesitate to risk when there is genuine opportunity. If there's genuine opportunity on the cards, they are going to take their risk, and they are going to do it with confidence. And most importantly, they have a stoic mindset. They focus on what they can control. This is a huge part of it. They're not focused on outside sources or believing that the market is rigged or the market is out against them, because they realize that if they believe that the market is out to get them, or that it's rigged, or that's the market's fault that they're losing, they're never going to be able to actually improve. Nobody is pulling the trigger but you. And we'll constantly see people say that the market is choppy, it's not suiting my trading style, that is why I'm losing. The market's phase it's not the correct market phase, and that's why I'm consistently losing. But at the end of the day, it's not the market, it's you. You're the one that still chose to place the trade when you knew the market phase wasn't ideal. You're the same individual who chose to take the trade when you knew the market had choppy conditions. You were the same person who clicked the trade and entered the trade when you knew there was high volatile news on the cards. It's always you. It always was. You were always in control. And this is something that a lot of traders don't realize until they're years and years into their trading journey. And it is one of the biggest life lessons you'll ever have. And this is why I think even if you were never reach consistency in your trading, it's an amazing life lesson to learn no matter what age you're at. With that understanding of looking at ourselves for our own, looking at our own performance to really and take full accountability for it to see real improvements, profitable traders and winning traders realize that to learn something, you must experience it first. And usually these biggest drawdown periods provide the biggest aha moments. So for myself, anytime I'm going through periods of drawdown, I am forced to look for solutions. I'm forced to look at what I'm doing wrong. I'm either looking for behavioral patterns or technical patterns, and the attitude to be curious behind what I'm doing is a major factor for my success of getting out of these drawdown periods. But also the understanding to learn something, we must experience it first. During these losing periods, you have two options. You can give up or you can find a solution. The ones who have the correct attitude and decide to find a solution, they have now learned something. Because like I said, to learn something, we must experience it first. That doesn't mean the lessons are going to feel good or the process of losing is going to feel good. But if you have the correct attitude, you'll probably have your biggest aha moments during your toughest periods of drawdown, which I've noticed specifically over my own career. And this is the thing, when it comes to getting yourself out of drawdown periods, having the correct attitude is essential, but it's also there for long-term success. Because the thing about technique is it is worth nothing unless you have the attitude that will ultimately hold the foundations for long-term success. I want you to imagine two individuals, one who only focuses on technique, but one who has adopted attitude and technique. The person who only has technique will see short-term success, but eventually that will die when they have, drawdown periods, tougher market conditions, etc., because they don't have the correct attitude to, first of all, find solutions, do the basic work, but also to have enough self-confidence to get themselves out of those drawdown periods. But the person who has the correct attitude will understand that their edge is at work and that they do not have any influence over their results, but they do have 100% influence over the process. So they allow the process to do the work. They realize that process and traders and process is like a solid marriage. It's like salt and pepper. It just goes together. And without the process, we can't let the trade play out. But at the same time, without the trader, we can't have the process because the trader is involved in executing. So I might explain that a little bit better later throughout the video, but they both go hand in hand. You can't have a solid process without having a solid execution. If you do not give your strategy, the chance to actually be executed on a consistent basis, you'll never see how the process plays out. And you can run a simple equity simulator with some basic statistics that you've collected over historically to actually see how your process may play out over a longer term period. But back to what we're talking about here when it comes to attitude versus technique. You have to build the strong foundations to succeed in the long term. You can't be having this mindset where you're constantly worrying, because even the best traders realize that if you're filling your mind with worry, fear of not succeeding, fear of not being able to get out of the drawdown, or fear of losses, you're taking up you're taking up space in your mind that could really be used to be making better decisions. You're spreading your focus thin, you're spreading your willpower thin, you're spreading your decision making and your capability of making decisions tin. And the more we continue to spread that tin, the more we will see our performance fall. Because as we increase fear, we decrease performance. As you increase worry, we decrease performance. We want to focus on similar to a mindset that the market works on, a neutral basis. We want to work in harmony, understanding that our job as traders is to help our process, our edge, do the work. And the only way we can help it work is making sure that we're executing to the best of our own potential. How do we execute to the best of our own potential? Having the correct attitude and psychology, which is essential. Now, to develop a winning mindset, like I said, you can regularly review do the things that winning traders do. So you can regularly review and evaluate your performance. Make sure you're staying flexible. Do not hesitate to risk when there is genuine opportunity, and start focusing on things you can control. You should also stop focusing on developing this mindset where you believe the market is rigged or against you, and instead start working with a mindset almost as if you have a mirror in front of you and you're constantly being judged by your own behaviors and actions, but judged in a positive way that we want to constantly improve. Why did I lose today? Why was I a little bit emotional today? Did I attach a positive expectancy to that trade, etc.? It's also about setting some basic foundations for yourself. Align your beliefs with your trading style. So you must find or kind of develop a trading system that matches your personality and trading style. So a lot of people, who are more kind of short-term thinkers, well, you should probably be trading more short-term fluctuations rather than the people who maybe do not have enough time, are much more longer-term thinkers. Well, then you'd be much better at piecing the ideas together and creating a fundamental story for why euro dollar may decline over the next 3 months to a month, whatever it may be. You also want to actually, practice to compete against the best traders. Realize that if, as Trader Dante says, and it's something similar to this, if you're not working on your edge, someone else is, and they're taking the other side of your trade. Realize that you have to improve your trading skills through constant education, constant trading, and then even more trading. The power of chart experience is one of the most underrated things that I see spoken about in the industry. Nobody talks about this. It's always about the best winning strategy. It's rarely ever about psychology, but even more, it's rarely about chart experience. Having the skill of being able to execute on a consistent basis will show your hidden potential, that's really, like I said, hidden inside of you. But it may take years to develop this, to really understand the science of trading, which, is ultimately your trading skills, but also the art of trading, which represents your judgment and attitude. And at the end of the day, most new traders fail because they don't have the discipline to work on their trading approach until it's profitable. In other words, they don't have the attitude, the correct attitude to succeed. Another thing that you can do is achieve a well-balanced and focused mindset. I believe in the early days, you need a certain amount of obsession. But at the end of the day, we also need to make sure that we're focusing on our mental health. You want to incorporate some sort of balance into your life. It's important to be a focused trader, and obviously one that's focused on improving constantly and becoming 1% better. There's also, you need to have that obsession. I do believe in that, but not so much where it becomes negative, or has a negative impact on you. You do not want to cross that line. It will start affecting your overall day-to-day relationships. It'll start to affect your own mental health. And we want to be focusing on, improving our attitude, not putting stress, on what's driving that positive attitude in the first place. And this is an interesting one, but trade as if it's a game with real consequences. Treat it like a game. Develop an environment that is stress-free when you're practicing and learning. Have fun with it. Become curious. Some of the best traders in the world are the best because they were curious at the start of their journey. They wanted to understand things. They wanted to test things, and they wanted to understand the probabilities behind it. They wanted to research their brain and how it works. Just like Ferrari have the best engineers, we want to look into becoming the best personal psychologists we can be, and make sure that our own neural engine is working at its full potential. At the end of the day, having the right attitude sometimes comes down to not taking it too seriously, accepting that you will lose, that this is just part of the game, trying to stay away from becoming too uptight and stressed about the entire process, and instead just flow with the markets. But be very, very sure or make sure that you realize that you are in this to make money. It is a game, but it is a game with real life consequences. And the US Navy has a great saying, and I'll finish on this: it pays to be a winner, and second place is first loser. And I think that this is very true for trading as well. So overall, traders, today we spoke about attitude versus technique. We spoke about the winning characteristics, what separates the winning characteristics of winning traders and what separates them from consistent losers. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And, if you have any video recommendations or any questions, you can send them into the comment area as well. We'll see you in the next one.